Yo, yo. Alright. Beta test one. Louder podcast. Say less louder podcast, I guess. Yeah. We're here. Louder Sound Studios. Your host, J-Gutz. Mr. Say Less Louder. Gods versus Odds. Mr. Pack Your Ass Up. But we here. This is number one. I appreciate you know whoever tunes in, whoever's about to tune in. But this has to get real. If you know anything about me, you know I like what I like, and I'm all for the people. I'm not really into the destruction of my people. I'm not really into the downfall of my people. I don't like that. All I want to do is inspire, and if I can do that, I did my job. All right. Damn. Yeah, episode one, man. It's been a rough day. It's been a real rough day, man. One of the homies got killed last night, and he was a good dude. He wasn't a guy in the streets. The bro went to work, went home, took care of his kids, took care of his wife, and he lived his life. But man, it's just fucked up. Just the mentality of people, the mentality of my people, right? And he got killed, maybe, I don't know the whole story, but all I know was the wrong person. With his mom in the car, his grandson in the car. Yeah, they were in the car while that happened. And yeah, man. My condolences, my big condolences out to that family. I don't want to say no names. Just know you got love around you. You got people around you. And there's not much I could say, especially knowing who homie was and how I knew him. I met him through his younger brother. His younger brother, my dog. That's my dog. I wasn't always so for and pro, my people. I just didn't understand it. I always loved my people, but I didn't understand how to be pro for my people. And we was in the streets. We was out here, and I know for a fact, like, I know for a fact that bruh is a good dude. Like, they good people, you know what I'm saying? They good folks, man. So for them to have to endure this type of pain and tragedy, and especially over nothing, over something senseless, it's crazy. Yeah, of course, yeah, my joint went out. But yeah, life is short. It's precious. You gotta, and I might sound like I'm preaching to the choir, but I'm not. For real, this is like me talking to somebody else is me talking to myself, right? Sometimes you have to hear it out loud. It's just sometimes I have an audience when I'm thinking out loud. So I just give it to y'all like this, but we all got our ups and downs. We got our gambits, and gotta take it for what it is. I really don't understand certain things, and even if I did, I still wouldn't understand. Even if I understood what happened, I still would not understand the concept, right? But I do know that the Creator got a plan. I do know that we all are people. We make mistakes. And hopefully we can live long enough to, put those mistakes, back in the right place, make it right. But nonetheless, it's 2021. We about to be 2022. I'm not sure when I'm gonna air this episode. I'm just seeing that it's the first one. That's if I even air this shit. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here talking to myself, getting out some ideas, kind of venting a little bit. But shit, we gonna turn these tears into dollars fuck all that. It's a real story to be told as a young black male in his 30s who has been through prison. I've been through the streets as a kid, as a teenager, fighting, shooting, doing all that, to come to a realization like, man, boy, that shit was stupid as hell. What the fuck was I doing? I'm fighting for things now I otherwise had a part in creating, if it makes sense, right? So some of the things I want to see out of the young kids that I see now are some of the habits and habitats that we created for them. So we sit here running around looking like, damn, these young motherfuckers are acting crazy. Like, why are they acting so crazy? But we gotta remember something, like, shit, we laid the foundation for that, right? But the whole thing is, we had people to talk to us. We had people to, kind of look at. Now, that was very scarce, but we had them. But the whole thing was about it is that they didn't look like me. And what I mean by that is, yeah, you might have a cop come in and talk to you about making the right choices. Or even if you had a black man come in, talking about the right choices. Bro, you don't even dress like me. You don't even talk like me. You don't even walk like me. So how can I take advice and take what you say for face value, and you don't remind me of me, right? And this is the first time in a lot of generations, because I remember when I was younger, I didn't see a lot of people who were 30 years old. Like I just didn't know, like, you just didn't know a lot of people who were 30. Like I just, especially being like 18, 15, 16, like I didn't know a lot of them. We didn't see them because they was either really deep in the streets, locked up, or they never took that turn to the streets, and it was always maybe stay corporate or they went to church, right? So now we seeing a generation of young black men and women who have seen a lot, especially with social media, the internet, it's technology, period. We see a lot of information at a high rate, and it's hard for us to compute certain tragedies that are happening to us in this type of time, because it's not even when you get on your social media, you could be still maybe even grieving about something, right? And see a meme that sparks another emotion, and now you're deeper in the depression. See another meme that makes you feel inferior, puts you deeper in the depression. Like, I had to stop following some pages, like for real, I had to unfollow a few pages because I started understanding and recognizing what that shit was doing to me. Like, that shit was fucking me up. The whole, like anytime you on the internet, you comparing your life to somebody else's, you comparing your likes to somebody else's. And, fortunately enough, I was incarcerated when the boom of the internet happened. I was incarcerated, right? So I wasn't so involved and in depth into the internet when I came home. I did not even know how to work Twitter. To this day, Twitter be confusing the shit out of me. Like, it's just, and not to sound remedial, but it's too many goddamn words. Where are the fucking pictures? It's all links and shit. Like, I don't like that shit, right? It just doesn't appease to my eyes. Instagram. I thought, man, and I gotta be very, very careful about what I say in this cancel culture now. But boy, I thought it was guilty as hell for somebody to be taking a selfie. Like, a man to take a selfie. I thought it was guilt. Like, I thought it was guilty. But I say all that to say, like, I didn't understand the internet. And so now that I'm out, I get to see how the internet plays a part in people's everyday lives, even myself, right? And I'm seeing how I play a part, both positive and negative. Some people get rich off the internet. Some people go depression off the internet. And it's a very thin line. It's a very thin line to saying I'm gonna use this as a tool versus this shit is using me. And I just would like to be, one of those people who are able to distinguish that difference for people. Be able to distinguish the difference between real pain and false pain. Like, and pain is pain. You feel what you feel, but understand, like, it could be worse. It could be 10 times worse. And you deal with what you deal with in the pace that you deal with them. But the biggest superpower that anyone can have, once I learned this, my life changed a little bit different. The biggest superpower that anybody can have is compassion. Period. That's the biggest superpower human form has, is compassion. Is to be able to take something negative and still be able to produce out something positive. Even if it's not towards you, even if it doesn't affect you, it doesn't affect your life, it doesn't affect your money, it doesn't affect your family, but you still somehow find the rhyme or reason to be good to and for somebody. And I just feel like at this point, God has laid it on me. Allah, Jah, whomever,
I only got respect for some niggas that came before
has laid it on me to kind of be, I don't know, I guess a voice of reason. Like not even a voice of reason, but just to be a vessel. Like I'm understanding that, like, there's certain things that we may not even understand we know until you know what you know. Innately, we have instincts and we have intuition. Breaking the two down is different. And I just want to be able to help people distinguish the two. There's a lot of things that instinctually I want to do. Instinctually, I want to punch the shit out of some motherfuckers, to be all the way honest with you. But intuitively, I understand that that's not productive to even my own growth. That's not productive. It's just not being productive. It's just not moving forward. So if I can help you out with that, I did my job. Podcast 1, louder.
Yo, Hennessy poetry. When you hear that say less louder, you better know it's me. Guys versus the odds, it's a high